The story we tell ourselves becomes our identity. It doesn't matter whether that story is true or untrue. All that matters is that you believe it, and more importantly, that you repeat it on a regular basis. Like story, like your state of mind, very few of us actually put conscious thought into what our story is. How many of you have written down your story of your ideal self? How many have written down your goals? Very few of us have. I know it took me until I was about 19 years old for the first time that I actually wrote down who I wanted to be and what I wanted to accomplish in life. Now, Lao Tzu, the famous Chinese philosopher, he says it best. He says, watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Now, brilliant words. And we're gonna look at the most common story trap. The statement specifically that you are not good enough. At one time in our lives, all of us have felt that we are not good enough, that we are inadequate. I felt this, everyone I've talked to has felt this. What's really important is to never let this statement enter your personal story. It should just be, it's okay to feel like you're not good enough, but you should never feel that you are not good enough. And this is one of the most dangerous traps to get into, because the minute it enters your story, it's game over. Your unconscious will start sabotaging you. All of a sudden, as soon as you start receiving success, you'll find yourself back at square one. You won't even know what happened. It's because the identity, what you believe yourself, does not fit success, because you tell yourself that you're not good enough. At one time in our lives, we have all felt that we are not good enough, that we are inadequate. And that's okay. What's not okay is to let that statement enter your personal story. Never let your struggle become your identity. Now, there's an easy solution to all of this. All you have to do to change your story is just write down the ideal version of who you believe yourself to be and put that where you could see it every single day. It's that simple. Now, my own story, when I was in high school, I was broke, I was overweight, I got dumped by my girlfriend, and I actually ended up dropping out of high school. And that was one of the lowest points of my life. I looked at myself in the mirror one day, and the man I looked at was not the person I wanted to become. So what did I do? The first thing I did, I wrote down my goals, and I wrote down an ideal version of who I wanted to become. And I placed this where I could see it every single day. For me, that was my mirror, my bathroom mirror. Every day I would wake up and I would look at those goals and the ideal version of myself. Within 5 years of doing that, I made my first $1 million. I became self-educated. I met the girl of my dreams, and I became super fit. And it all started at that minute when I looked at myself and I wasn't happy about who I was becoming. Now, what's really important is to believe in your story. If you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. Now, Steve Jobs was particularly good at this. He had something called a reality distortion field, where his belief in his own story, as crazy as it may be, infected those around him and made them believe as well. It was so powerful that after just one conversation with Steve Jobs, even if you were a complete skeptic, you became a believer. That's the power of believing in your story. Now, the trick to this is to reinforce your belief by focusing on it. You gotta focus on it. Every day you gotta look at it. You gotta think about it. You gotta visualize yourself. Literally visualize the version of yourself you wanna become. And, this is why people of the faith, religious people, they have daily habits to remind themselves of their religions, and their belief becomes a conviction. Now, you should never settle for anything less than the ideal version of yourself. Okay? Now, let's go back to, how we can make this happen. You gotta let your story permeate your thoughts. Let it roll off your lips. Let it become part of your actions. Let it become part of your character, and then it will be your destiny.